In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to navigate our Flex course. This is my home page. It's going to look a little bit differently because I am in my teacher view, but this will work either for your parent or your student account, where you're in your home page. If for some reason you are somewhere else, you can click right here and that will take you to your home page. And then you're going to go up to Courses and then click on our Flex course. And once inside the Flex course, yours is going to look pretty similar to this. There's the Start Here quick guide, which is definitely where I suggest that you start if you're new to our class, whether it be the beginning of the year or the middle of the year. And then we have our Flex Track Needs to Know folder. It works best to click these little arrows on the side because they allow you to not have to wait for the next screen to load. And then you can see in Flex Track Needs to Know, we have all kinds of different things here. Schoology tutorials. So if you are new to Schoology, this is definitely a place where you would want to go to learn more about how to use Schoology. It's also in the Start Here quick guide as well. All About Me. Weekly Updates archive. This is where I take my emails that I send to you every week and I archive it here so that if there was something a few weeks later that you need to go back to, this is where you would look. Year at a glance by subject as a reference, class supplies needed, a typical homeschool day at a glance if you're needing a refresher on what your homeschool day should look like as far as time frames, just to make sure that you're within that. And if not, please let me know if it's taking too long and we can do some adjusting for your student and individualizing. And then homeschool checklists. This is what Flex uses to make sure that all of the assignments are completed as opposed to a calendar. So if you are coming from A, B, or C track into Flex, you are probably used to using the calendar for assignments. We do not use that for Flex Track, primarily just because it takes way too long to do 3 different grades and calendars and 2 different tracks. It just is not practical. So instead of that, we have the homeschool checklist. And as long as you have these printed and are checking these off as you go, and by the way, your student will love this because it gives them a target, then you're going to know that you're on track. So for 3rd graders, it's right here. And 4th and 5th graders, it is here. And it's also going to be inside of your unit folders as well. We've got our volunteer sign up links here, and then family Google group info. This is if you would like to have your information public for those others in FlexTrack who'd like to get in touch with you for playdates or special class parties and things like that. And then your passwords for digital content, which you can also find in the Start Here quick guide. Okay, then we have our Reader's Choice Challenge folder, and you're going to learn more about that in another tutorial. We have our conferences folder, and this is also linked in the Start Here quick guide where you sign up for your conference, and it also has information about what to bring to conferences. And then you're going to have your unit folders. So this will obviously build throughout the year. Right now there's only Unit 1. And within this folder, you are always going to have your homeschool checkup Google form links. This is also linked in your history lesson. So once a week, you're going to be submitting these checkup forms to let me know rubric scores for your history assignments as well as how the reading assignments are going. And that's in a different tutorial. You've got your Unit 1 at a glance, your weekly homeschool checklist that I spoke about earlier. And then we have the different subject areas. So math, again, we click on this arrow for easy navigation, and then any folder that you find within a folder, you can do that as well. Okay, and I'm not going to go into detail about how to do these subjects specifically because those are in different tutorials. I'm just showing you the navigation right now. So let's say you are in 3rd grade Logic of English and you are inside one of these lessons. So let's click on, so I'm dropping down each time so I don't have to wait for the pages to load. And then I'm going to click on one of these. I'm going to click on a later lesson actually so that I can show you how to easily navigate. So I'm in this lesson It gives me all the information for that lesson. But let's say I want to go to the next lesson or previous. I can click these buttons here to easily navigate within this folder. And then if I want to come out of this folder, but maybe I don't want to go all the way back to my home page, I can click on these, what we call breadcrumbs, to back up to where I want to be without backing all the way up and then having to do a bunch of more clicking to get to where I want to go next. So let's say I just want to go into the Logic of English and Reading folder. I don't want to go all the way back to the Unit 1 folder. I would click on this breadcrumb, and that leads me back to that folder where then I can use my arrows. I can go exactly where I want to go and find that lesson quickly, much more quickly than if I had gone all the way back to my Flex course and started from scratch. Okay. One more thing I want to mention in this tutorial about our course navigation. If you are in your parent account and you are trying to access a discussion for your student in history, because that's typically where we have discussions, you will not be able to do it. It will pull up a blank page. This is because of the Schoology privacy notifications and just the settings that they have legally. So instead, what you need to make sure that you do is be certain that you are inside of your student setting, your student profile instead of the parent profile. So as an example, this is my parent. Oh, it's going to take me straight to my daughter, Selah. Okay, so my parent view looks like this. But then within my parent view, I can click here and I can click on one of my two children, Selah or Jessa. I'm going to click on Jessa because she does go to our school, so it's going to look a little more similar than the high school one. Okay, and I know that I'm still in my parent account even though it says Jessa here, because up here at the top there's this blue banner that says you are viewing as Jessa Ivins. Now if I were to go into my course, I can still navigate. Well, it hasn't allowed the new courses yet because this is the summer, but normally you would be able to click into courses, you'd be able to find your Flex course. It would look pretty much identical to Jessa's account, except if I were to go into the discussion, it would not allow me. Or if it was a Google assignment, say you're trying to submit for your reading book pages, if you choose to do that digitally, it wouldn't allow you to do that if you were within your parent account. So to make sure that I'm in my student account and not my parent one, all I need to do if I'm down here is just scroll up and see, does it say I'm viewing as my child? If so, what I need to do is go over here, go down to log out. I'm not going to do it right now, but that's what I would do. And then I would have my student log in, or if you know how to log in as your student, you can go ahead and do that. And then it would allow me in my student's account to be able to lead my student to do the discussion or to submit the Google assignment. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please feel free to reach out and I will be happy to help.